Here to discuss what the president is doing to the credibility of coronavirus vaccine, economist Jeffrey Sachs. He's also the chairman of the medical journal The Lancet's COVID-19 Commission, which created an outline for a global response to the pandemic, including the production and distribution of vaccines. And Jeffrey, I know you've had experience in this. You've had experience both sort of arguing the anti-vaxxers and obviously in the developmental, in sort of development context of vaccine deployment. I mean, I guess the first question is, I don't think Cal Cunningham's answer there is worded precisely as I would, but it does strike me as important for folks to make a distinction between what Donald Trump says about vaccine and who they do trust and how they would sort of ascertain the trustworthiness.
I think we have to start with a very different point, which is that we reached 200,000 deaths of Americans as of today. And the rate of deaths per population in our country is 100 times higher than it is in many other countries in the world. So we have had an anti-science, ignorant, reckless process in this country. You could say led by Trump, but he leads chaos, confusion, and death. So nobody can trust anything right now, as you said, because he has been unwilling and uninterested in telling the truth and in following the basics of public health from the beginning. And it's 200,000 deaths as of today. Unbelievable. 4 times, essentially, the deaths of all of the Vietnam War. So now we have blatant politicizing of what would be the most rapid development of a vaccine in history. We've got to root for that success. But of course, anything Trump touches is a lie. And this is, he makes things rotten. And this is all that one has to know and say. If Tony Fauci comes on your show, Chris, and says, look, the science is clear, let me show you the evidence, we're going to believe that.
Yeah.
If Donald Trump on November 1 says, you got a vaccine, I'm the greatest, and the day before the election starts this kind of nonsense, we know what this is about. And Trump himself, he tells us how he lies. He lies about everything. And he explains on tape now how he lies about everything. He lies about climate change. He lies about COVID. He'll lie about the vaccine. Can't people figure this part out? This man conveys no information except reckless self-interest.
Well, and here's where, I mean, this is the scenario that strikes me, and it is really dangerous, I think, that we have this kind of, once you drop a little bit of ink into that water, the doubt into people's perception of it, like, it's hard to get out, right? So, and I get why politicians be very careful what they say. What you just said, I think, is a good rule. Like, if we have credible sources vouching for this and can point to the process, and yes, like, Personally, I will go get the vaccine, right? Whenever that is approved. But the scenario that seems most likely to me is a kind of middle scenario, which is that in advance of actual rock solid where we are on the vaccine, he makes some announcement for the election, or even if there's good, phase 3 trial results. And then the actual deployment is not some yada, yada, yada thing. Like, as you know, and as I think you've been working on, written about, the deployment and the logistics of getting people vaccinated is as much of a challenge as the actual development.
People should understand also, we're going to need normal public health that we have not even had to this moment in this country. We're going to need testing, tracing, face mask wearing, care for months, maybe years to come, even if a successful vaccine comes. If a successful vaccine comes, it's going to take time to implement, to roll out, to get acceptance, to get understanding. We don't even know the efficacy of it. How long would it give protection? To whom would it give protection? For all people, for older people, for younger people? Right. These are big unknowns. So we're going to have to take care. And we're not even taking care now. We don't have a vaccine, but we can't even save lives now because of the recklessness, Chris.